Hello again. I think I've exhausted the adjustment reaction thing for now. If you have any questions, let me know. Um, oh, actually, I haven't, because now I just realized I totally forgot. Like, that's going to be a whole nother. I actually have more, but that's a whole other. Like, that's going to need more than the time. And so now I'm going to stop now and talk about toilet paper, because I think trying to edit that one video is just going to be a dumpster fire. So I'm just going to go from here. So one of the things that I have been seeing a lot on Facebook and other places is talking about people hoarding goods. And I want to talk about that very quickly. It's not going to be quick, you know me. So the thing is that one of the questions is why toilet paper. It doesn't seem like it's funny because at first it was like this is like a bad cold. You don't need toilet paper. Actually, technically, COVID-19 can give you diarrhea. So it's not as far off the mark as one would think. But also, the act of going to the bathroom is a very personal, very private thing. I think that toilet paper also is something that's very hard to substitute. If you don't have Cokes, you can drink water. If you don't have pork, you can eat beans. If you don't have toothpaste, you can even make baking soda and salt to brush your teeth with. But if you don't have toilet paper, there's not a whole lot that you have option wise. You can use a leaf or phone book if you have phone books, but who really has phone books anymore? Or you could use cloths and wash them, like moms who do the cloth diapers. That's something that's a little uncomfortable and also a little bit more problematic. So people went out to buy toilet paper. Also understand that people don't know how to prepare for a pandemic. That's not their fault. Pandemics are not normal. Tornadoes are kind of normal. Ice storms are kind of normal. Hurricanes are kind of normal. Pandemics are not things that people have been brought up with, and that is not their fault. They don't understand that generally in a pandemic, you're not going to lose services. Generally in a pandemic, the electricity is going to stay on, the power is going to stay on, and unless it's a totally severe pandemic, you're still going to get goods. You're still going to have items in the store. But how would they know that? Who taught them? One of the things that I wish the government would have done is say, okay, we're looking at the possibility of people needing to quarantine when the disease gets here. This is what you're going to need. You're going to need 2 weeks worth of supplies if you have to quarantine. And that will include blank, blank, blank. And so, for example, people, does anybody really know how much toilet paper they go through in a week, or how much you need for a person? If you read my Facebook, you probably know the answer to this. But generally, it is 1 roll per person per week. So, but people don't know that. They just know they go through toilet paper, and they don't sit there and say, "Oh, I put the roll on a Tuesday." I mean, some people probably do, but so the fact that they went for something that was a comfort item, that was something that was very hard to replicate or substitute, and something that they would need in a storm, that's nothing to blame them for. That's okay. That's them doing a good job, trying to take care of their family. One thing I also would want to mention is that I think we need to understand is our economy is a just-in-time economy. That means the stores get what they need right when they need it. And normally that's okay. One thing to understand is generally in your area, all the stores that are in your area have enough goods for the people who are in that area for 3 days. That's it. After 3 days, there's no more supplies. If the supply chain was cut. So you have stores that are, they don't have any stock, they don't have any overhead, they just, it comes in, it goes out, it comes in, it goes out. So when you have a situation where there's a storm coming or the pandemic's hitting or whatever, you have the people who did not prepare, all coming in. So maybe the store only gets like 100 packs of toilet paper per week. I'm just pulling a number out of my hat. Just because the toilet paper is gone doesn't mean that somebody came in and bought 100 packs of toilet paper. 100 people who normally shop, maybe shop every 2 weeks, maybe on payday, they came in and got their 1 pack of toilet paper. So when the shelves are empty, that doesn't mean that people were panic buying. And we do need to discuss the term panic. Which is, I do not think it means what a lot of people think it means. It could be that just a lot of people who normally shop on a Tuesday shopped on a Friday, and now the toilet paper's out. There are people who are hoarding, and there were a lot of people who bought up, and they think they're going to make a lot of money. I'm just going to give you a hint. The toilet paper manufacturers are still making toilet paper. As a matter of fact, I actually know a lady who works for one of those toilet paper manufacturers, and she's like, yeah, we got plenty. We're still working. It's not a problem. We will have toilet paper. Another thing is what I heard, and I haven't verified, but what I heard is that eBay, because they want to sell it on eBay for like $1 million. I think eBay has stopped toilet paper sales. So all those people who thought that they were going to buy 20 pallets of toilet paper and then sell it for like $20 a pack, they're gonna have lots of toilet paper for the rest of their lives because they won't be able to get rid of it. I shouldn't wish ugly things on anybody. It's ugly and it's beneath me. But I have to recognize the irony. I have to recognize the poetic justice in a way, while wishing that people would understand not to take advantage of their neighbor, because sometimes it's going to bite you in the bum, in this case, almost literally. So I covered, another thing. When you see somebody who has a cart full of toilet paper, or goods, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, you have to understand you don't know those people. You don't know how many people are living in their household. You don't know if they're buying for all the elderly people that are in their neighborhood. You don't know if they have a severely immunocompromised child at home and this is their last trip before they shut the doors in order to save their child's life. Okay, this is, we cannot be judgy just because we can't get what we want when we want it. What we need to do is understand that people are acting in fear, but not irrational fear. They're behaving rationally. If you need to quarantine, if you have high risk people, you do need the supplies so you don't have to go out, and that's not irrational. That's not unkind. There is, before this past week, I went to Sam's, and there was a fellow in line and he had 4 bottles of hand soap, and I didn't realize that there was a limit on hand soap, and neither did anybody else. So people were like, hey, do you want to jump in line? He's like, actually, they limited you for only 2 bottles of hand soap, and so I've got to wait for my wife. And then he realized that he just admitted that he's breaking the rules, and he said, don't think I'm a jerk. We own daycare centers, and so we have to make sure that we have enough soap for the daycare centers. So he was breaking the rules by buying more than he needed if he was at home, but not in the daycare centers where he's taking care of other people's babies and they've trusted him with their children. So understand that we don't know. Understand that everybody is going through this and they haven't been told what to do, and they have never been taught. They are trying to go in a society under a government that treats its citizens increasingly like wards or children or sheep. And I love the way our government was supposed to be. I'm not slamming America. Love America. I am blessed to be here. But the government is eroding a lot of ability for Americans to self-regulate. So if somebody's regulating you for you, then you don't have to self-regulate. You can just be, do whatever. And then our society is very based on emotion. So you have the lack of reasonable thought, the lack of personal responsibility, and a society that's encouraged you to be emotional. I hate the term special snowflakes, but special snowflakes. And then you throw them into this catastrophic situation. The fact that we are seeing people prepare, the hoarders, or the scalpers, the mercenaries who are buying all the toilet paper to try to sell it, that's horrible. The people who are fighting over the last pack of toilet paper, that's horrible. They are reacting in fear. The other ones are reacting in greed. But the people who are just trying to make sure their family is safe, and their friends are safe, and that's not horrible, and that's not selfish, and that's not unkind, and that's not mean. If we could just give each other some grace, and especially those whose story we don't know, I think that we will find, especially for my brothers and sisters in Christ, this is our moment. This is our moment to show people grace and love and forgiveness, and show them the way to peace and to comfort and to reassurance. This is our time. This is our moment. And that's got to start with us understanding that we don't know all the things. Even if we look at somebody's cart, we have no idea what's going on. We don't know if somebody's buying for their elderly neighbor. We don't know if, how many sick people they have at home. We don't know anything. If you do personally know somebody who's trying to be a scalper and a mercenary, well then yeah, talk to them. Say, you know what, this is beneath you. You are a better person than this. But if it's a stranger, the only thing you could do if you're in a store and two people are fighting is perhaps be a voice of peace. Other than that, I think we just pretty much have to understand that this is a high stress situation, and to be as much of a balm to people as we possibly can. And I think that's going to, we will shine then. Let's see, I have a couple minutes left. There was one other point that I wanted to make, and I'm trying to think of what it was. It was about okay. So here's the thing, that it very quickly, okay, I used to teach preparedness to government officials and stay-at-home moms and a lot of people. Can we just agree that when this is over, we will keep 2 weeks of supplies in our pantries at all times? At least. Minimum 2 weeks. The basis is 2 weeks. Because we never know when something's going to happen. And even if we don't have another pandemic, God forbid we have another pandemic, even if we don't have a hurricane or an ice storm or a tornado, which if you live somewhere that never has anything, that's kind of weird. But even if you have supplies, and your refrigerator dies, or you blow a tire, or somebody needs stitches, then you don't have to stress about it, because most of us live on kind of a margin. So if you have, like, hey, I can take this month's grocery budget because I have stocks, I have a full pantry, and I can put it to tires. That is a good thing. That's being a good steward. So I think that if I can encourage anybody to do anything besides show grace and mercy and love, is to stock your pantries when this is over, so that you don't ever have to be in a situation like this again, even if it's not a global situation, even if it's just your personal family situation. So anyway, love y'all. Think you're wonderful. Thank you so much for being here, for listening to me. It makes me feel close to you to be able to chat. And just let me know if you have any questions, or if there's anything you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be coronavirus. We don't have to talk about this the whole time. We could talk about anime or manga or games. If you want to find out who I am on Xbox or whatever, just let me know. And I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.